What's up YouTube, Silver Dragons here, and this video is going to be an unboxing and a review of my new electric melting furnace. Let's do it! Thank you so much for watching my video, I sincerely appreciate it. This one I'm going to break open my new electric melting furnace here. I'm going to do sort of an unboxing and a review of it. If you have not seen my normal electric melting furnace, it's actually the exact same one as this one here. I got a second one because I love it so much. But anyway, let's get this box opened up here. We can take it out of the box and sort of go over it together. I'll show you how to get it set up, and I'll talk about what things I really like about this furnace and also what things I don't like as much. Okay, so I got the box opened, and this is the first thing that comes out. It's this little pamphlet here. Now, these are all the different types of this kind of furnace you can get. This is the one that I tried to purchase. We'll see if that's the one that actually came. That's the other one that I have. It looks exactly like that. And then there's some information in here. Now, you can read through this if you like, but the main thing you need to know is that this furnace, you cannot go over 3 hours with it. So here's some more info in here on sort of how to turn it on, etc., etc. And I wonder where the actual safety thing is. Oh, this is kind of cool. It talks about putting in a new heating coil. So here's all of the steps on how to put a new heating coil in if the one that you have actually breaks. But the most important thing with this furnace is just that, like I said, you don't run it over 3 hours because you don't want to burn out your heating coil. Looks like we did get the red one, so that's good. The other one that I have used to look exactly like this, but the red is kind of faded a little bit. But anyway, all looks pretty sweet. I'm gonna have to plug it in and make sure it works. So we got the actual furnace here, which is awesome. Everything looks to be intact. Very, very good. It also does come with the cord to plug it in. So that's awesome. They gave me the right one this time. Last time they gave me the one for Europe, which was kind of a bummer because I had to get an adapter for it. But we got the right cord this time, so that's awesome. Now this furnace, the actual size of it is 2 kilograms. So what that means is that the Crucible can hold 2 kilograms of gold. So here's the Crucible that comes with it. Also pretty nicely packaged. And how much silver can it hold? A little bit over a kilo. So maybe, let's say like 35, 36 ounces, probably something like that. So there's the Crucible. Again, 2 kilogram Crucible, but that's gold. Silver, this is a little over a kilogram. So a kilogram's like 33 or let's see, 32 ounces and some change, something like that. So this can hold a little bit more. I know it can hold at least 33. I think it can probably go up to like 35, but the problem is if you go more than 35 ounces of silver in this thing, it's gonna be like right up at the brim and almost overflowing. So when you take it out to pour it, you're gonna have to be really, really careful. But these are really cool furnaces. The whole purpose of these are for heating up metals to actually melt, and then you can do castings or whatever you want. And the last thing that comes with it is these tongs. So that's kind of cool. We got a nice little pair of tongs here. They appear to be fairly good working order. So we got the tongs, we got the actual furnace, we got the cord. Let me get it plugged in and set up here and we'll see if it actually works. Okay, so I got it all plugged in and ready to turn on for the first time. But before I do that, I wanted to show you my other furnace. Now this is the first one I ever bought, and I haven't had any problems with it at all, other than the cord, like I mentioned. Here's the adapter I had to buy for it. Kind of lame because they gave me the wrong style, but not too much of a hassle. I made sure that when I bought this one, I bought it from the USA stock, so it would have the right cord. I bought it off of eBay. It was about $280, so really inexpensive for an electric melting furnace. Now, this one I've had for, I think, a little over 9 months, and no issues with it. It works really, really great. Super plug and play. You can see the color has faded quite a bit. It's almost like a brown color now, and also there's all this white stuff around the top. And you know, it is getting a little bit beat up on the inside, but it all still works. So it doesn't have to look great as long as it does its job, right? And then we got the brand new one here now, looking all perfect and shiny and everything. But anyway, let me get it turned on and I'll show you how to adjust the temperature and everything. And then I'll tell you a couple tricks about it before we finish out the video. So it looks like it's set to 1000. Now this number here on the bottom, that's Celsius. And that is what the temperature is set to go to. The number here on the top is what the temperature of the Crucible is right now. I should say this is not necessarily the actual temperature of the Crucible, but what it's supposed to be at, okay? So if there's something in the Crucible that hasn't fallen down and it's like either not melting properly or something that might be a little bit off, but if you wait long enough, eventually it'll turn into this number. So this is like the heating coil in there, how hot that's getting to. Okay, so if you want to adjust the temperature, so right now we're up at 1000. That's not enough to melt silver. I personally mostly just do silver pouring, silver melting. So my ideal temperature is 1095 Celsius. So this is not enough at all. So what you got to do is hit this button on the left here. Just hit it once. And then we can adjust. I think if we can actually go over, nice. So get this up to 90. And I think we gotta circle back around. Okay, 95, boom. Okay, that's it. So now it's gonna heat all the way up to 1095 Celsius, which is a little over 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is my favorite temperature to melt my silver at, my 999 fine silver bullion for silver pouring. So that's all you have to do. Plug and play, super easy. One thing I would recommend is before you ever actually melt anything, get it up to full temperature first. Just sort of don't put anything in the Crucible, let this heat up all the way. Leave it hot for about 30 minutes and then shut her down. Just make sure everything works the way it's supposed to. That's just my recommendation. This Crucible is gonna start getting pretty hot pretty quick. So you're gonna wanna wear gloves when you're handling that. When it gets up to full temperature, it's gonna literally turn like red hot. So clearly right now it's probably still cold. Yeah, it's barely even heating up at all, but it's getting there. So, okay, couple tips and tricks about this thing. So first off, like I mentioned before, you don't wanna have this on for more than 3 hours. Otherwise, you're gonna run the risk of burning your heating coil out faster, which, as I mentioned, I've never done in my original furnace. So pretty much what I do is once I turn it on, you push the on button, just set a timer for 3 hours. And then once that timer is up, hit the off button and then let it cool all the way down. Probably wait about 5 or 6 hours before you turn it on again. So that's my recommendation. I really would not ever run it longer than that. Maybe like 10 or 15 minutes over, but I've never done it past that. One other recommendation I would have is not take it up to the full temperature. So this number on the bottom will actually go all the way up to 1150 Celsius, which is completely maxed out. That's the hottest this machine will go to. And if you want to melt copper, you're going to have to turn it up all the way to 1150. The problem is when you crank this all the way, it puts a lot of strain on that heating coil and you're going to burn it out super fast as well. So if you're planning on buying this machine for melting copper, you're only probably going to be able to have it on for about an hour or 2 hours at the most before you want to shut it down. That's my recommendation. I've never turned mine up all the way to be able to do copper just because I'm really worried about burning it out. And like I said, this one's lasted quite a while with no issues. So if you want it to last a long time, then just do silver, sterling silver, brass, tin, stuff like that. Get another furnace for doing copper, one that is made to go hotter, so you don't have to max it out all the way. One other thing I will say is this takes probably around half an hour to heat all the way up. As you can see, we're not even to 100 degrees yet Celsius, so it takes quite a while. What I like to do is I'll put my silver in, I'll put it in, and then I'll turn it on, and then I'll just put like a monitor on it so I can watch it while it's heating up. You don't really want to leave it unattended. You're never supposed to leave it actually all the way unattended just in case something breaks or maybe your Crucible fails. If your Crucible does break, I've had one crack on me before. It was pretty scary. but I was actually able to pour everything out before it started leaking out. But if it does break and crack, then everything will start pouring out down here on the bottom, and it's gonna ruin your heating coil, and then it's gonna start ruining the actual machine as well. So if you start pouring molten metal all over your machine, it's not gonna last a long time. So you really need to make sure you always have eyes on it when it's on and heating up, especially. Like I said, I've got a bunch of baby monitors because we have 3 kids. So usually I'll just put a monitor on it or something, or I can even put a phone on it or a webcam or whatever, and just keep eyes on it when it's heating up. Like I said, it takes about half hour, sometimes maybe 45 minutes. Just depends on what you're heating up and how high you have it set to. And yeah, so those are sort of my tips and tricks for this machine. They're really sweet. This is my favorite electric melting furnace. I do have another brand that I'm not going to show you in this video, but as far as my review on this thing, if you're using it for silver, this gets like a 5 stars. It's super easy to use. It's no problem at all. I love using it. If you want to do it for copper, then I'm not really sure. Like I said, I've never maxed out the temperature. And so I can't really give you a review on that. I would say if you want to do copper, just don't even buy this machine at all. Buy a different machine that gets hotter. So anyway, just a video on that, my unboxing review of my new furnace. I'm really excited to actually use this during my next pour party, which is going to be on Monday, September 9th. I'm actually going to be pouring with both furnaces. I'm going to do a bunch of silver pours. It's going to be a ton of fun. If you haven't been to a pour party yet, definitely show up because I pour a lot of silver live, and then people can pick what they want live. So I do lots of different designs and things. It's always a blast. But anyway, just a review of the furnace today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Silver Dragons out.